Hello, good evening. I'm Adventure Argonaut. I'm back in Titan Quest because I want to talk about stuff, but let's get back to the game first. So yeah, I usually play Titan Quest when I want to talk about stuff. So first, let's have a look around where we are, get our bearings and all that. Trolls. Oh my god, is this the internet? I'm being assaulted by trolls. Oh my god. And they ate all my mana. This bone weapon looks cool. What is it? Fold. Okay, yeah, it has life leech. That's good. There's some green oh, boars. Okay, they didn't kill my Pokemon dude. Okay, Yazum. Furry boar. Oh, there's some quest guy here.
He was helping me sort the mushrooms I collected. He's very good at it, you know. I also have some berries left.
Yeah, helping with mushrooms. I think that's like a euphemism for something
You
else.
probably just came for some hunting supplies, correct? I have some here.
Yeah,
Until
okay.
next time.
But yeah, that was a quest to find this woman. Her wife, her husband. Blah, my brain is melting. Her husband asked to find her, and he was worried about her and stuff. And she's here in the middle of the forest with some strange man collecting berries and mushrooms. Yeah, sure. And how can they like either they have to be pretty good at combat like myself, or maybe the animal. Ooh, what's that? Animals don't care. There's like every 5 meters you come across some monsters here. So how can they actually traverse this wilderness? I have my doubts. But anyways, yeah, let's kill these dudes first. And you too. So I was going to talk about cancer. Because somebody I know died of cancer recently. And hey, Connie. Thanks for following me. Thanks. Some artwork. Sure, maybe I'll have a look later. Let's see. But anyways, I was about to talk about cancer because somebody I know recently died of cancer, and is of course sad and all of that stuff. And there's of course the human element, but there's, I don't know, it's not something I really wanna burden others with. But it's more like what is cancer, and why haven't we be able to have any reliable cure for cancer yet? Like I know somebody else who was diagnosed with cancer like 10 to 15 years ago, and they had some operation and they're still alive. But I do think that experience still hindered both their health and cognitive abilities somewhat. So it's not like there was it was just cut out of their body or something, the cancer. But this one, Yeah, the person died recently after almost 2 years of struggling, and yeah. So it's like, why don't we have any really reliable cure for it? Because like in Sid Meier's Civilization 1, game released in 1990 or 91, I'm not sure which year, but over 30 years ago, one of the wonders, the world wonders, like there's the wonders of the ancient world, like pyramids and the Colossus of Rhodes and the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, and you can build those. But then in later years or later eras, you can build newer wonders, and one of them is cure for cancer. Like if you build the cure for cancer, I believe it increases happiness in your civilization in the first game, and I believe that's the only civilization game with that wonder, cure for cancer, and I think it's like a represents the optimistic view that people had of the future back then in the early 90s. Like they probably thought like, yeah, we have a cure for cancer in like 10 or 20 years, sure, like everything's going swimmingly and all of that, and the future looks bright, and here we are over 30 years later, and yeah, things just seem to be going worse every single year. Spriggy spruggy. So yeah, it's so why did they seem to think that it was a realistic scenario to add to their game? Because it wasn't like it. Sure, like the later years, it had some science fiction-y elements, but it wasn't a science fiction game. Mostly it tried to be as accurate simulation and realistic, historically accurate as possible. Um, hmm. Maybe I should go check out this place first if the respawn point is here. So why can't we cure cancer yet? At least I guess some techniques probably have improved since 1990 when it comes to cancer. I'm not disputing that, but overall we don't seem to have a great idea, and I think it's like my personal view on the matter is that, for one, it's not economically viable. Of course, if you had like maybe, let's say, just hypothetically, or maybe I should first say that I believe that there are some people who have a good idea of what actually causes cancer and how to cure it, but that knowledge is probably restricted to the ruling elites, as it were, and super rich and all of them, and they don't want us common people to share, to partake in their wisdom. Like they want to feel that they are better than us, so they don't want to share the cure with us. That's my feeling. I can't prove it or anything, but I don't think a lot of these, super rich elites, they seem to live quite long. Like all these Henry Kissingers and stuff. Like he died, was this year, last year, whenever, but he lived to be quite old, and all these Klaus Schwabs and whoever. So that's and of course it's not going to be economically viable, because there are still cancer medicines that sort of, I guess, they can make you feel better, like lessen the pain and extend your lifespan, but not really cure you. There are medicines like that, and some of them are quite expensive. So let's say oh no, There's lots of enemies here. Stupid magic dude, gonna kill you. Oh. Oh no. Okay. So, yeah, let's say hypothetically that maybe the cure for cancer is quite like maybe it's quite simple recipe. Like you need strawberries and avocado and I don't know mango. Like certain amount of them, and then you boil them in water in some certain temperature for a certain time, and then you I don't know take it, and then it's gonna cure like 90% of cancers or something. Like if something like that was true, the pharmaceutical companies couldn't make great deals of money with it, because you could basically just make the cure for cancer at home. Just check a YouTube video how to make it and follow the instructions, and voila, you cure cancer. Like, I don't know if it's that simple, but if it was, it wouldn't be very financially beneficial for anybody really, except like maybe the price of mangoes and avocados would go up. I don't know. Because over the years I have seen all sorts of alternative explanations of what cancer actually is on the internet, like or how to cure it. Like some many sources have claimed that hemp oil is supposed to cure cancer. Now I have no idea whether it's useful at all, or maybe it's useful in some cases, or whatever. I don't know, but I can't blame people for looking for alternative explanation. Also, like the other alternative explanations what causes cancer, like somebody's I remember some old theory or claim that is some fungus like candida or something, I think it's called. Or like somebody's even claimed that it's a parasite that causes cancer, and who knows really, because I don't think the doctors seem to know, because if they know, they would have a better idea how to deal with it, right? Because another reason, like is curing cancer is not economically viable, possibly. um, but also it's I do believe that there is this certain amount of dogma, like people, even though they don't know completely everything about cancer, but there are certain stuff you learn at medical school or wherever, and what cancer is, how it develops, how it infects you, and all of that stuff, and what kind of things you can do to mitigate its effects and stuff. But like, and if somebody says something completely different, let's say for the sake of the argument that it was really a fungus or something that causes cancer, instead of whatever the mainstream explanation is, then a lot of people wouldn't like it, because they've been studying it for years and years in medical school and learning these facts about cancer, and then one day somebody says like, hey, those facts are mostly wrong, so it's bullshit. And people do have their egos, and also like their livelihoods, because let's say you're a doctor who's been you know have a practice, and some of the things you do in your practice is like trying to heal cancer using certain methods, and you've had a modicum of success in at least mitigating some of the suffering of your patients and stuff. and then somebody says like, well, none of that stuff you do is actually useful. Like it's only like, okay, it can act as a sort of painkiller, but it's no way in, you're not doing anything useful against curing cancer, so you're basically useless as a doctor. Many of them wouldn't like it, and of course it would endanger their livelihoods. That's one reason. And there's of course the ego issue, like, how dare you tell us that the thing that we've been learning in the university for who knows how long is wrong? Like, who are you, especially, like, if it's not somebody with a bigger credentials or something. Let's say some researcher or something who has only some master's degree or something, and he discovers something new. How can you, how what right does he have to claim that all of the experts are wrong? That's how I assume many of the experts would view it. And I don't claim to have any insight into what cancer is, except that my insight is that uh, the most of the experts don't know, or the ones that know, they ain't telling us, unless you have enough money or political pull or whatever. They won't tell you. They will give you, snake oil or whatever to and drain your wallet dry, but and best they give you painkillers or something, or something to distract you from the inevitable death. Because, like, well, we just um, gone through this, pandemic stuff. Well, it's been, I don't know, over however you see it, 1 or 2 years since the end of the pandemic, and of course, many people criticized the medical intervention. Some claim that the cure was sometimes worse than the disease, and whether you are talking about certain injections that are completely safe, of course, or simply, lockdowns and masks, social distancing, all of that stuff. Oh, it's caravan
Want to go
driver.
north? No problem.
Dumkov? Yeah, sure.
So long.
Because at least my understanding is that, the virus wasn't that deadly. Like, it wasn't much of a flu. And there's even some have pointed out that, it seems like the flu itself had sort of disappeared during the pandemic and replaced by the other disease, starting with a C, which is quite curious. But, whatever it is, I didn't take the injection and I'm fine. And I was quite certain since day one that I shouldn't take it, and so far I haven't been proven wrong. And there are some lawsuits about the effective medical intervention, like some in Kansas and stuff. And people, because you weren't allowed to talk about it on social media or video sites at all. I think now you can talk about it somewhat, but I'm still trying to be careful. Because there are minor side effects, or rare side effects, right? Super rare. However, I guess you're allowed to define the meaning of the word rare with the speed of science. I hope and presume. So you can yeah, is how you identify as defining rare. Like maybe it's 1 in a million or 1 in 10,000 or whatever. Yeah, you're free to interpret it the facts as you wish. Isn't that the state of science nowadays, anyways? But anyways, but yeah, not just talking about the infection, but injection. I mean, but simply the measures they to restrict and the the authorities they caused a lot more fear with the measures than protected vulnerable people in my understanding, and also the of course simply like and of course they caused a lot of economic damage to regular people, not huge multinational corporations. I think they benefited from it, but like small businesses and so forth, they suffered from it. And but the funny thing is like my because I've heard many people say that the pandemic made people respect the medical profession far less than before. But um, my honest view on the matter is that it don't made my view of the medical experts. Oh, ooh, that's creepy looking. I guess it lowered my opinion only slightly, because my opinion was quite low already to begin with. So it's like, if it was close to zero, it cannot go much lower. Oh no, did they kill my Pokemon, dude? No. Because, that's why I didn't take the jabby jab. Because I was quite certain that, like, if every major institution and media outlet and so forth is saying you have to do it, it's probably smart not to do it. And which is like, there's some people like, John Campbell, the COVID grandpa, as he's called. And I watch him and I think his YouTube channel is valuable and stuff. But, in the beginning, he was pushing for the injection and stuff, because all the experts were saying, all the so-called studies were saying it's good for you, so he just followed the science. But and now he's sort of recanted, and now he seems to say that maybe they weren't such a good thing, and they might have these rare side effects might be not such a good thing. And that's of course good, and I do he should be commended, and he is often commended for admitting he was wrong. But it's still, I think, is interesting, because I'm not a medical expert of any kind, and why did I know and countless people like me, how did we know that we shouldn't do it? So it should raise a few eyebrows, like why would I, like, because people like me, we were called crazy, ignorant, conspiracy theories or whatever. But were we wrong? Can you say we were wrong? And people, I knew that I was fairly certain that nobody would listen to me, and I didn't manage to change anybody's mind, and I didn't try that much even, because I was very pessimistic. It's not like it wasn't my first rodeo. But anyways, enough of that stuff. I guess my ultimate point is that it's not simply that I was berating the medical industry, medical science as it were. But it's not simply that. Like like a lot of people might be more familiar with, like games industry. Oh, what's this? So yeah, games industry, film industry, they're of course corrupt. And I shouldn't have to reiterate a lot of that stuff. It should be obvious by now. And then there's like or the tech industry, or of course like this, like the last US election 4 years ago. Like there were all sorts of shenanigans on Twitter and stuff, muffling certain kinds of opinions while allowing others. Should I go there? Let's have a look. And then if you watch Louis Rossman's YouTube channel, if you don't, you should, because he does great work of exposing all these tech companies who have, he calls it the right rapist mindset, because they like to change terms of service after you bought the product, and they are not willing to take no for an answer. Like you buy a product, and then after you've used it for a while, they change the terms of service, and you have to accept to their terms, or you cannot use the product you bought, or like those, I don't know, movies or something you bought on PlayStation or some Sony stuff, and then they took them back and stuff, even though it said it's a purchase. You're not renting them, and there's countless examples, or they're just spying on you, or selling your information to the highest bidder, and all of that stuff. Like the point I'm trying to make is it's pretty much every big industry nowadays. They're there to screw you over, and you as a person should be aware of it. It's like it's universal. It's not any kind of crazy conspiracy theories. Maybe I should go up there, have a look. The things that just crazy. And they, as far as people ignore reality, these things will keep repeating. Like if you don't care, then if people don't care, then of course the companies or the governments or whatever, they see no incentive to change things for the better for us.
Greetings, wanderer. What are you doing here so far inside this dangerous forest?
Oh my
I
god.
am Artaban's druid of the
Baldur's Gate
Universal.
3 has ruined everything.
I know the forest well, and am a friend to many of its creatures. Except for the trolls, that is. They can be nasty pieces of work. It's generally not too hard to avoid them or scare them off, but yesterday, when I was cutting mistletoe, the largest troll I have ever seen suddenly stood sniffing under my tree. When he reached for me, I struck his hand with my sickle, but he barely felt it. Fortunately, he seems to like golden items, because after wrenching it from me fingers, he was so captivated.
Okay, so I have to find his sickle
and wander off with it.
But yeah,
Happen to have seen my sickle
in the old days.
Unlikely, of course, because the creature probably carried it off to its filthy den.
Okay, thank you. Shut up, old man. So in the old days, it's just like, oh, it's a druid and his bear. But since Baldur's Gate 3, it's it's, I haven't played the game because I'm very like divided my view on it. Like people have said it's good, but then also the things I know most about it are like sick stuff like bear sex, perversions. Ooh, experience. Jimi Hendrix experience. Stash. Porn stash. Okay, any more enemies? Maybe that cave up there is the troll cave with the sickle troll.
Your inventory is full.
Okay, let's go sell our crap. Hoineberg. And yeah, how much do the doctors really understand about
Hail, soldier. I see you have come a long way from your
cancer and what
Are you
what
looking for a
causes
crop
it,
of
how to
hay?
get rid of it,
Or some
and
proper
stuff,
digging?
and how much of it is like what are the actual reasons why? Good attack speed, but I guess the others still. And why can't we? How to heal cancer and all of that stuff, because it doesn't make sense to me nowadays to trust. They said trust the science, or you shouldn't trust anybody. Back in the 80s, was it Reagan who said trust but verify? Well, I wouldn't say you should even trust anyone. I should say this. You shouldn't trust anybody either, but at least you should verify. But nowadays they said trust the science. Dr. Fauci said that he's basically science incarnate, and if you question him, you question science. Is this not how science used to work back in my day? But nowadays it's different. You trust the science or we break your kneecaps. That's how it works nowadays. I'm looking for the guy who was looking for his wife. Should be somewhere. Okay, let's check. Do I have to go to the guy anymore? Side quest. Okay. So I don't have to go tell the guy anymore. Tanner Orsos. Okay. So I don't have to return the quest. I sort of wonder. Oh, okay, he's here. Where? This way. Yeah, I can still
She
talk
was
to
at
him.
the hunter's shack, sorting mushrooms? By Sikelis's hammer, I can't believe it. I love mushrooms. And here I was thinking she was in one of her moods again. Oh, this will have been worth the wait.
I don't know, is this Reddit? She's, they offering her mushrooms to other guy, and this guy is just, excited that she's gonna bring some mushrooms to him too.
They taste so good.
Whatever, let's go back adventuring. Massive, supermassive black hole. Wrong button. Cave of the Troll King. I guess this is where the scythe is gonna be, or whatever. Or sickle. Sickle, I think, that's a scythe. Stupid magic man. Crypt worm, creepy crypt worms. Ooh-ya, ooh-ya, ooh-ya. Oh, that's a big man. Let's kill the small guys first. Come on, let me move, please. Okay, this guy is dead. Good. I can't stun him. Too big to stun. That's what they said about the banks. Ow! Quit it. Die, monster. Only like 1000. Come on, he should have been more badass than that. Like, at least I had to, you know, exert myself a little bit to beat him. So it wasn't like super easy. It was more than barely an inconvenience. It was like, you know, what's this? Bone pile. Okay, I got the thing from the bone pile, so I guess that's good enough. Let's go bring it back to the druid. Oh, surprise troll. A surprise dead troll. Biting. So is it? Does it only bite Celts? Celts? Ooh, more enemies to kill. Sugar to spill. Okay. Ooh, ice baby, but doesn't look that good actually. So let's bring the axe to the druid with his bear, his boyfriend. I guess this is sort of like you know what they say about Alexander the Great, because you know they say that he was you know his friend, whatever his name was his gay lover, but the evidence basically is that because Alexander the Great was sad when his friend died and he cried and stuff, so that made they were gay lovers.
So you have found my golden sickle in the cave of that troll and killed it? By Tutatus, you must be a formidable warrior. Let me see how I can reward you.
So yeah, now that this druid and the bear are close, they must be gay lovers too, right? Same logic. Not too far off from a level up. But where am I supposed to go? Ah, this way, I guess. It looks a bit like there's some passage, a path. Kill you all. Troll sticker. That looks interesting. Hey, come on, don't shoot like your ballista, whatever catapult shots here. What? There's nothing in this chest. There's something here. Okay, let's go kill. What the fuck are these? Ugh, they're ugly, hideous creatures. Is this like Helldivers or something? I've only played the first Helldivers game, and that's years ago, so I don't remember it so well. But it's like, I don't know, stuff like. I think the game had enemies sort of like this. Is he dead? Ooh, Thialfi. Do I have another Thialfi stuff? How about this? There's nothing there, I guess. But there is something there. There's like a mallet. I guess it's just bugged. These are Thialfi stuff too. Yeah, in this warfare mastery stuff. I guess I should use this. Just have to remember to remove this gem, charm, whatever. So there's only, like, I need only one. Like the vest. So I have the whole Thialfi set. Doesn't seem impossible even. Let's see. I'm gonna go back and see if this item is pick upable once I come back. Not sure if it is. First go to the here is the enchanter, so I can remove the charm from this gloves
I
or
don't
whatever,
get any
bracers.
chomping. Why didn't you just say so?
So can I put it? No, okay. I guess because they're already like named items, so I cannot add any more stuff there.
You must excuse me if I only use Celtic weights.
Garland, a dainty garland.
Come again.
Delivery all across the Celtic lands. Goodbye.
Like this mallet or whatever they're lying there, I don't think it's gonna be anything useful or valuable, but you know, just in case. Well, I can't even pick it up. But there's clearly something there, and there's even some sparkle effects, like really faint, but they're there. There's also like some okay. I thought, why no? I thought N is the button to disable these things, but no, it's Alt. Okay, so now I can. I think I should still be able to pick them up, even though I don't have the text enabled. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. Deep forest. Deeper forest, deep. That's the Forrest Gump porn version. Ugh, giant insect centipede. Disgusting. Stupid plants. Gonna eat you for breakfast and dinner and lunch. Oh, skeletons. Ooh, one of those things. I guess I will probably end the stream soon already, like after I find the next respawn point. Because yeah, I just, I wanted to talk about cancer, and that of course led to other stuff, but it's like but yeah, it's, of course all these, like every disease like that, if you lose somebody, it's a personal thing, but that's not really I don't know, I don't feel the um, desire to talk about that, but more like I guess the reason, like, why aren't we better at healing these things, because we're supposedly so more advanced than before. But like another thing I wonder, like, I don't know, like because it seems that the further into the future we go, the more common cancer becomes. Like of course you can say one reason why cancer diagnoses weren't so common in the Middle Ages or whenever is that they didn't really understand it so well or couldn't diagnose. And sure, I think it's partially true. Now we get this counterattack. Yeah, counterattack sounds cool. Triumph. Okay, it's like the battle standard Warwind. That's yeah, I want this. Okay. So yeah, why aren't, like, like I do think of course there is that back in the day people didn't know so much about cancer stuff, but I wonder, like, what is there about modernity that seems to make cancer grow more quickly? Like, is it the diet? Um, or something in our environment, electromagnetic radiation or Wi-Fi or whatever it is. Like, there's probably something, or just a lifestyle, being disconnected from nature. There's, I think, I guess it can be a combination of factors, but like a lot of these things the experts don't talk about. Let's say just hypothetically that Wi-Fi caused cancer. I'm not saying it does because I don't really know, but hypothetically speaking, let's say that was the case. Like, who do you think would fund such research to, actually prove that it does cause cancer? Because certainly, like, the internet companies wouldn't want to do it, and Wi-Fi is everywhere. It would, like, if the experts and the governments and everybody was to admit that, oh yes, it does indeed cause cancer, then we'd have to pull back on a lot of our internet infrastructure, and that would of course affect things economically, and you cannot do that except if it's to screw over regular people. Like, you can do whatever to screw over regular people, but if you do stuff that hinders the big business, then that's heresy, and you're probably racist or something if you do it. hit them, you fool. Okay, so yeah, I think I saw the respawn point over there, but let's look around here first. Yes, up there, but I still have these paths to clear. Oh, they're dead. Ugh, so disgusting. Kill them quickly. Are they even attacking me? They're just, using their disgusting appearance offense on me, and it's working. I'm losing sanity as I look at them. So what is this guy doing? They look like some Tim Burton movie rejects, these Spriggans. Can we face against a puka? It's a kind of trickster fairy. And we are in, Celt lands, so why not? There should be some. The Rhine Valley. Ooh. Okay, let's head back to the city. Gonna sell my crap and then end the stream here. Because I'm all talked out. This is my TED Talk game. My go-to TED Talk. Alas, not many people turned up today, but at least there was somebody.
Have a look at these scrolls. He says I have a talent for making them.
Transport east to Illyria, west to Iberia. No worries. Our roads are good.
Anything else? Goodbye.
Let's get back to the place and then I can save and finish. I have if I play for 40 more seconds, then I have exactly 55 minutes of stream, so maybe I should do that. I just have to keep my eyes on the clock. Okay, let's try to kill these bastards quickly. Come on, oh no, 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds. What was this spirit shice? Okay, come here. Okay, so it's game saved. And 1, 2, okay, bye bye.